So then, as you're part of ECW on November 23rd, 1996 in Massachusetts, you got paired up with a new wrestler named Mass Transit.
Right.
So tell me what led up to this match.
It was supposed to be me and Mustafa against Devon and Axel Rotten. But Axel had a death in the family, and he didn't show up. So this new kid that came up, and he was like, he wanted to get a tryout. So he was a big old fat white boy. And Paulie was like, we take a look at him, and he was like, Jack, you want to work him? And I was like, I don't give a fuck who I work. I said, I'll work anybody. So he put him with Devon. But the kid came up to me, and he was like, New Jack, can I do some stuff to you in the match? He said, my dad is in the audience. And he was like, I want to get some stuff in. So I was like, no. And he was like, well, just let me get just a little bit of stuff in. And he said, I want to bleed. But he said, I've never done it before. He said, I never gave before. So will you do it for me? And by then I was pissed off. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So we got in the match, and the time came for him to bleed. And I had a surgical scalpel. I took it and I cut him in the head with it. And blood just shot out like everywhere. You know what I mean? And they stopped the match. The cops came. The ambulance came. Paulie rushed around the back door. And I went back to Atlanta. And it was a few months later, they pressed charges on me. So I had to go surrender myself to Boston. And they locked me up.
Okay. Well, Mass Transit, his real name was Eric Koulas.
Yeah.
And he presented himself as, I guess, a 21-year-old that's trained by this guy, Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
But in reality, he was actually 17 years old.
Yeah.
Which nobody knew at the time.
Right.
So you go and cut him, and blood starts just squirting out. And then you announce, I hope this fat piece of shit bleeds to death because I don't give a f.
Right.
And as he's bleeding, you and Mustafa keep beating him up. You guys are like jumping off the top ropes and slamming him, lifting him up, and there's just it's just total mayhem.
Yeah.
And later on you said I was high, I didn't care, it didn't matter to me. The fans loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So you really didn't care what happened to him at that point?
No, I didn't.
Because it was his idea for you to cut him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as he's bleeding out, and I guess, they're calling for the ambulance or whatever, the father starts calling you the N-word.
Yeah. He
Okay.
came to the locker room, and the security guy wouldn't let him in the locker room, but I could hear him out there screaming, New Jack, you cut my son, and this, that, and the other. So I told him, I said, let him back here. And they wouldn't. And then by now, Paulie was telling me to get my stuff and let's go. So I left the building.
Okay. Well, Mass Transit got 2 of his arteries in his head severed and 50 stitches.
Yeah.
You went to court over it, but you ended up beating it.
Right.
How did you beat it?
I had a good attorney. Jim Murberg was his name. He was a good attorney. And he basically took apart all the shit that Eric Koulas was saying had happened to him. He was lying about the stuff that had happened to him. And he just dissected the whole goddamn videotape that he had, and he took him apart.
And you were found not guilty?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was good. I ain't go to jail.
Okay. And I guess because of that incident, you couldn't go back to Boston for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Did people just want your head at that point?
No, the fans wanted me to come back.
Okay.
But it was the cops that they had a problem with me. You know, so finally I did end up going back to Boston, and it was unannounced that I was there. So my music hit, Natural Born Killers. When my music hit, I went to the ring, and the fans lost their goddamn minds. They were glad to see me back.
Okay, so what were the cops trying to say at that point? I mean, before.
They were just like, if you cut somebody again, you're going to jail, and we ain't gonna let you get away this time. And they were just with me, and I was just like, I ain't gonna cut nobody. You know, I'm like, I ain't gonna cut them. I said, I got away with it one time. I ain't gonna cut nobody.
Okay. Did Mass Transit's family try to sue you civilly as well, or was it just a criminal case?
Yeah, civil. They came after me civil, but I had an attorney again, and he got it dismissed.
Okay. Mass Transit ended up dying in 2002 from a gastric bypass surgery. I guess that's like that surgery to make you skinnier.
Yeah.
Did you feel some type of way when he died?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever talk to him after that?
No.
No. But, I mean, by this point, was this the most gruesome thing that ever happened in wrestling, or was there worse incidences that you can compare it to?
No, this was ranked in the top.
In the top.
Yeah.